Bus. Kim Stingle, distinguished toastmaster. That's what I meant. The wheels on the shirt.
The wheels of a dream. We know everybody, the wheels on the bus go round and round and round. Beyond that road, beyond this lifetime, a car full of hope will always gleam. These are some of the lyrics of one of my favorite songs from one of my favorite shows. It was written by friends of mine, Stephen Flaherty and Lynn Ahrens, from the show Ragtime. And it's from a song called The Wheels of a Dream. And when I think about that song, I think about this amazing club, the journey that got us here, and the road going forward. Madam Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, most honored guests, today I want to welcome you to a brand new beginning of a brand new road. And I think this theme of the wheels of a dream ties into what we've heard so far in looking at our why, in looking at the road we came from and where we're going. But the first question is, how does a car come together? This car came together because of a bunch of different dreams happening. They were happening at different times, in different places, by different people. My dream started pretty much immediately when I joined. I didn't know much about this Toastmaster thing, but I knew about this DTM pretty quickly. And then I heard about this road to accredited speaker. And I remember going to Karen Blake at my second TLI, which was a week after my first TLI. And I went, what is this accredited speaker thing? And she's like, oh, well, yes, you would be amazing at that. We should look into that. About a year ago, my dream continued. I was, oh, where did she go? Kathy Kest. Oh, there you are. Spontaneous overnight slumber parties. That means I had not wanted to drive all the way back to Kingwood, and she said, just crash here. And she said, what do you want to do? And I said, I really want this accredited speaker thing. And she said, you know what? You could actually get a club together and do a club. And I went, that's an amazing idea. In another part of town, up in the Woodlands on the north side, another amazing leader who's not with us today, but one of the charter members of this club, Miss Becky No, had also mentioned to me that she'd had some advanced clubs and that an accredited speaker club would be good. Jump ahead a little in time, and now we've heard about the infamous breakfast with Rashid Huda and the Fab Three. And I remember, shortly after, I'm guessing that happened, my phone rang, and Kathy Kest said, Kim, you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you. Do you know Rashid Huda? And I went, I do know him. He was actually the speaker, the test speaker at the very first contest I ever went to in that little Denny's up in Spring, telling a story about his lost wallet. That's a powerful speaker when I can remember that specifically. And she said, he wants to start an accredited speaker club. And she said, I know just the person you need to talk to. So the reason I point these things out is that this car did not come together except for all these little sparks of energy and wheels turning. One day, we finally got our schedules together, and Rashid and I met in a beautiful little Panera up in his area of the town, and he said, I want to introduce you to somebody else. And we put on the stream, and into the picture, and into the dream walks Tammy Garner. Now I have to say, when you're putting together a car, you've got your spokes, you've got your wheels, you've got your dreams, things are coming together. But another one of my favorite movies about cars is called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Now remember in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang there was Caractacus Potts, played by Dick Van Dyke, and he was that kind of crazy, a little bit different, didn't quite fit in anywhere, into the real world, dreamer and inventor. And I would assert that Tammy Garner is our Caractacus Potts. Because see, it takes people to have a dream to pull things together, but it takes that inventor to dig in and roll up their sleeves and get dirty. And you remember when he was building the car, he literally shut himself in the garage and he focused and got in his zone and built that car. So it's one thing to have an idea and a dream and come together, but it's another to do the hard work. And I really want to take a moment and also share with you that there was one person and only one who did the initial grueling hard work to get this club over the finish line, and that was our own Caractacus Potts. And it was not an easy journey. We had stumbles and challenges. Don't ever try to sponsor a club and put in your paperwork when international is all off at convention. It's going to be another month before they get back to you. By the time it comes back to you, everything you've given them is expired, so you've got to go back to ground one. Then you've got people come in to teach them how to open spreadsheets. You do not know the countless phone calls, conversations, and I would say not only tenacity, but self-control and patience it took this woman to pull us over the finish line. It was one of those, every time we went 3 steps forward, we went 2 steps back. And then we were there, and then we went 2 steps back, and then we were there. So putting this car together cannot leave out our amazing inventor. And then what happens after an invention? The car comes together, but it's all the gears. It's the fuel. It's the fire. It's the oil. It's every component. And what's beautiful about when you're dreaming about building a car, the car comes together and it looks like nothing you expected. You start putting an amazing group of officers together, and suddenly new dreams and visions and ideas go into building the car. You bring in people from the top in our district who run this game, and you get their energy and influence and feedback that, hey, I think this car might run really well. So I also want to thank everybody who put your oil and your hard work into creating this car that we can take forward. Give yourselves all a round of applause. What's beautiful about when you get a car, it moves along. As soon as you roll it off the lot, it becomes obsolete. And you got to start putting some more effort and energy and money into it. You got to start washing it a little more. You're going to get a few little dings and bumps, and the car, in that parking lot's going to open and put a ding in the door. And you got to go buff it out and shine it up. But that's what you have when you have a club. We have a club of strength and power that we can share with people, that we're honored with and proud of, that we can move forward. We can start taking the different dreams and visions of our members and putting them into the pot, so that by next year, we're not even going to have the same club and the same vision and the same dream we're at today. It's a road we travel, and as we travel, it veers and winds and changes into something even more beautiful. So as we ride this beautiful journey together, I will leave you with the final inspiration of this beautiful song from Ragtime, because these are the wheels of our dreams. And as we go forward, I leave you with this. Beyond that road, beyond this lifetime, that car full of hope will always gleam with the promise of happiness and the freedom we'll live to know. And we will ride, we all will ride on the wheels of a dream. Madam Toastmaster.